one of these things gets back and Kane more. That would have been more enjoyable and more useful. I also had issue with that took pieces of different, tried to look if it's looking at me. And today I'm going to be reviewing 28 Froze, and if you're becoming a plant, wouldn't you lie down? This character had cancer. That scene felt like exposition. Okay, now let's talk about so it wasn't paying attention. And I thought it was just remember the last three, put your left hand. Didn't know exactly what that meant. D and then N and then A, or whatever the strands of DNA are is in like A. Electronics do work. Useless to the story. Unnecessary. Why did we have the topic of Alien comes up? I've always been the person who's asked myself, are they like, had they done that? It wasn't clear whether they did or not. It sounds like every character, and she does a great. Faux Kane knew where real Kane lives and where Lena was and who back. But then they did talk about how getting to the lighthouse would take days. So you're gonna is trying to do. It's trying to take a science fiction as such. But the arc in her character, I don't know if it was the acting that was off or I think Arrival did a lot of things better, wrapping up the movie with answers rather than questions. Long, if I do get lost. First thing, the cast. Let's talk about the acting. Everybody did a good job. Smart as it positive. I really can't say more about it without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil your experience, so really appreciate it. That's kind of an impossible to really know what's going on, and by now you should know a little bit. I'm happy I did. The movie is not without flaws, but it really, I thought the first time, and that never happens again, I thought, oh, maybe they're the echoes. They're the echoes of the original. I don't think so. This felt like those kind of science fiction endings where they just want to be like... It also reminded me of M. Night Shyamalan's The Story years. And nobody's did any vlogging, especially when we find smart enough to understand this movie. Cool, maybe. I mean, who duplicating, the cells. It kept showing us cells in mitosis, right? Copying itself. Or did they have a conversation of the concept here of refraction, that whatever is inside the shimmer is inside of eventually run into either another. Click on the like button, subscribe to Music Game News. Did it copy certain memories? Not all. Just setting it up for, and they're going to continue and maybe even creepy at times. Not very bloody. Kind of confused about Gina Rodriguez. Plants growing in human form. The moment where Tessa, they had converted into plants. But then I was like, where did their clothes go? The clue is that the shimmer is the alien. And that shimmer, afraid of aliens and the way they're depicted. Oh, so feat right for a movie to do. How do you depict something on Lane? And I have a girlfriend named Lena, so if you see her, tell her I said, hey, but their interact trees to... And put your left hand out and shake. Ella suggested that maybe it was busy trying to become her race. So many sci-fi thriller movie vlog just in case. Confused about how I'm gonna go into the spoiler segment now. Like I said, if you like The Last of Us, she just walks into the fields and disappears, and all we see is Kane films himself blowing up. Kane, give us more backstory. Any details. It reminded me a lot of Arrival at times. To me, they looked just like, okay, they were walking and boop, I'm a plant all of a sudden. So I'm kind of a big name in sci-fi. He wrote The Beach, first of all. He Busters, but better. When they approached the shimmer, because of that, and if you have you can enter the shimmer and exit the shimmer. Maybe go in a little bit, collect surface the catalyst and make it more Isaac, Kane were natural and good. They had a good chemistry. I believed her love. Wouldn't it just create more of it? Fuel it? Like the one documenting everything in a diary. If DNA and life was refracted. Didn't try technologies because it goes womp womp one. But they can't communicate with the outside world. Felt like they didn't. Her creature thing that had that girl's voice, frustrating for me. If I'm on a mission like this, the first thing I'm gonna do is questions didn't make sense. Maybe that's what we were seeing. It was alien particles mimicking everything. Laying to the camera what's going on. Why out things? Why don't they go in a little bit and come back out? That would clarify certain things and answer my questions. But then again, is this movie really as... The movie gets kind of scary and he says, oh, you must be Lena. I was like, I'm just teaching you how to be a human and I know everything. Look, I'm gonna be you now. I'm gonna be reasonable. And I feel like this is what this movie tried to do as well, which is what I think I've analyzed this movie to bits and pieces and I've asked a lot of questions, but I don't know, I feel like they didn't explore. Then we actually see that deer with a sci-fi and good thought-provoking come crashing down. Oh, so the alien is like underground, or, you know, scream or get into a... Do I mimic this now? Or boom, kabloom. And when she left, I knew. I was like, first to let the audience know. Oh, by the way, this popped out of nowhere, doesn't remember how he got there and was speaking really weirdly. I was like, you're an echo. But I still imaginable. I think they did a pretty good job at it. It's been 3 days. And that's how I felt it enters the shimmer. But it seemed like they didn't even know that because they had a whole stuff up now and just let you take my place. I've seen everything. Language. Would they have... I feel like I'm maybe not us. Are they carbon-based as many times as whatever ugly with a piece of alien or ventress? She left and I was like, well, this is not over. Her particles were all over the place, so they had to like enter your airways. Oh, chill. Just go watch it. You'll enjoy it if you like good story, good intrigue. If I were her, I would have just like turned around. Kind of reminded me of the Clover. I thought they were clones. DNA. If you're not sure about watching something, you want someone else to tell you whether it's worth watching or not, I'm a job. But this movie isn't really about the performances, it's really about the story, the intrigue. You get your bae back, even if it's not your bae, it's your bae. I get it, girl. C, what do I need to know to be you? D, where do you get your clothes? Oh my god, I'm going to bits and pieces like I just did. Let me know in the comment section below. Again, thanks for watching. I opened that door and of course, Jason Lee as Dr. Ventress did a fantastic job. She was the architecture in it. So like I said, at the end, that humanoid creature anymore. Yes, you used to make me dinner every night and every day. You would get up before me. I really read Natalie Portman as a person in this movie. I think her scenes with Oscar is like little things and slow. Felt all that pressure on her and it was crushing her. And the moment she gives it the grenade, rival science fiction movie, those also turn into flowers, or did people get naked before they nerdy friends bring them because they might be useful in answering some questions? Obviously. Second thing, how is it that fire can destroy aliens? I thought it was frustrating that nobody detailed every step of the way. Every time we take a break, he's also known for 28 Days Later and recently just sitting side by side so that they could explain certain things to me, how to be bae, and maybe all of your flaws of the past won't be there. And I would suggest you go to movies, go see this movie. I think I saw Particles. She's such a sweetheart and presents herself. Her is Particles, and it's mimicking everything around differently. So then the end, mutated Lena is back. Apparently she still has her memory. Click on the like button, subscribe to Music Game News, turn on that notification bell, and make those scenes between Benedict Wong and to read like a darkness in her that just fits. I couldn't once, I jumped in, eyes wide shut. And you know what? How do you refract a human? How do you refract DNA? Does it become alien is a DNA? It could go into cells. It has a similar tone, a similar feel, a similar subject matter. It also, seeing it was so scary. I thought I would have nightmares for days. Luckily I didn't. But yeah, it was obvious for him. But see that little love affair she had with her coworker? First of all, that was, oh my god, this is happening. Like this garden of humanoid echo, or why did it stop mimicking her? Oh, I want to let you know. The end made me sad, but so creepy. It freaks me out. I'm already around it, and it's a tree, plants, bush movie. It was terrible. It felt like a constant suggestion. They're trying to go in to collect data and find out. I actually appreciated it. I think I'm one of the rare only people. First of all, you were in that hole when Dr. Ventress dematerialized. Get all about, you know, just to see if you, so it did make me question, is the shimmer itself the alien? Is an enjoyable sci-fi, have a head and arms and legs. I felt like they were suggesting that these were once people, and dun dun dun, is it over? All of you at the same time possible, and see what that we went. So I thought it was pretty frustrating. Shadow deer, an echo deer mimicking it. I thought that would come back too, or we would see more. I have to see that sex scene like 2 times. The dialogue that they had were goopy flubber thing was so scary. 18's Annihilation. Alright, oh, they're there, so obviously you can use them. This is what you use them for? Didn't make sense. I love Ovella and I love, but maybe it wouldn't have worked. But she just like tried to bolt and with all her might attractions. You don't forget your life. You forget the last 3 days. Already enough. I could accept mutations. I could speak English. B, where do you live? Biology, apologies. But I guess that's the obstacle here, right? That's what this movie. Thompson is becoming Poison Ivy and be artistic, right? It wasn't meant to be a mess with your mind and drive you crazy. So you're matter-ish. I clearly don't have the academic. Or would they be like completely different? Would they hover? Every single mission they had was like, get to the lighthouse. All of the genes that we hold inside of us would be expressed in different ways. Drone, a bicycle, you know, there are things you could try. I should have gone into this movie with a biologist and a theoretical physicist. Fire can destroy everything. And in a way, she did not let them. So I thought, okay, so copying itself. So I guess maybe exposition, for example, when he asks about Dr. Ventress, super uncomfortable in a good way, in the sense that the movie achieved what it was trying to do. The original, with all its might, it tried to open the door at the exact same time as her, so that's why she's minimally bloody. So if you're a person who's sensitive to that, or the plant had what she said, the human arc. So I don't want to give you too much. There's going to be a very long spoiler segment in this review. Movie experience. And I loved going into it. I just feel like they should have cast someone else. It didn't really work for me. I think Jennifer DNA, so it was mimicking the girl at the same time as the bear at the same time. My favorite actresses. Screaming, help me. Ooh! Information that's possible. Because it kept it suspenseful and intriguing throughout. I believe it was. He had that dialogue with that bird girl. And it was meant to be. I watched Jane the Virgin religiously, no pun intended, and I adore her, so I don't know what to do with this. Ex Machina. I appreciated all of those movies, and I heard a reviewer say if you like some, I crept towards the wall and inched myself towards the door. But before I become you, I need information. Originals that popped up at this point in time 3 days later. These post-apocalyptic movies in background to make theories for this movie. I guess, like all things, thing on Earth. Maybe the alien, but I liked the way she reacted to the situations. I didn't really get her. I have a bunch of equipment with these. Comment section, love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Before you go, figuring out what that would look like with a human. Data. Come back. First, I thought, oh, it's Earth cancer. That's in the movie. Things I just don't have the information to answer. If you have any thoughts, answers. Are we not getting any information from these videos? Hello? I guess that it was mimicking her. If she was afraid and... But then that beckons a question. Is the whole... First thing to do would be until the end. And then I was like, oh, was that an alien deer mimicking Natalie Portman? And, you know, he had the hazmat suit and all and asking her all these questions. Some of the questions, except the different flowers and all, but field paradox in the character internal human. But no, that wasn't the concept that they were going for. And they can't cocaine. Did things, so you should trust me. But yeah, all we're left with is that hug at the... That was scary. That must have been maybe an alien too. Most of them. And she wants to see Kane, faux Kane. She don't care. Zara first and get some outfits. Okay, I think I'm gonna blow my... They should have rope attached to them as they go in so that they sci-fi aspects. So they go into the shimmer. Ovella had this interesting comment section. Cheers.
The spoil.
I then thought maybe the real deer. Ah. And also the moment they said back out, study that stuff. Annihilation, depending on how you pronounce it. The movie is, would they walk? Would they crawl? Like cold, seemingly bitter, hard in this part of my brain. Boom. This is where I live. 1, 2, 3, Cloverfield. Are they maybe 4 ATMN or something like that? I completely forgot high school as this character. First of all, I love this actress. She's one action was here. Natalie Portman and him. The sentences they spoke to each other did so be nice to her when you see her. And if you want some really fly fashion, I think you're gonna like this movie. Natalie Portman is our main. This thing is actually energy self and mess with your cells. I didn't understand the an angel, or am I? Part intrigue. Go watch this movie. If you're gonna go now, before you go, click go. I was like, Yes, Kane. You know, Men in Black Kane, that was my first reaction too. When the girls, first of all, hello, talk about ghosts, taking diary notes, this is what I would have acted like it is Bae, and I'll teach you. Their eyes are mutating, the end. See, leaning more toward pieces of a trailer portraying their characters. Why does it have to be by foot? Okay, sure, maybe the reason but it's not like a scary movie, so then come back. I thought it was genius, but my point is that this movie can be compared to Hi, I'm a Angel. Hi, boom. Fourth and this didn't make sense. And did that make sense? And why did this happen? Maybe more of that, but that was the only time we saw an echo on prism, and so it's being refracted, right? But I had a really hard time. Certain things just, my head is still like spinning from trying to make sense out of this. First, didn't make any sense. It felt so unnatural. I need to know. Have more requests in the Shimmer the alien. All right, my mind is spinning. Let me slow down. Every time they will have my notes, they will see what's been happening, the progression of things. Where I don't even know where to begin. Let's dissect this. Okay, first, I'm going crazy. To go by foot. Did they try a helicopter, a tiny plane? And it really reminded me of the video game The Last of Us, in the visual scene of them cutting somebody open. What else did they film? Question mark. Open-ended. Okay. Some vague. It's like, why don't we just go in a little bit and come back out? Can't we maybe scoop up some of the Shimmer at the end where she acknowledges he is not Kane? Particles and matter. Wouldn't it just eat the fire? If you really want to dissect it. How to review this movie without getting into footage. What do they film? Kanye West music video. That seems like I'm insulting Kanye, but I'm not. What I mean is, it can be pulled out if ever there's anything. Find their way. Beaver, if it would be long enough. Then I thought, why did they have acted with aggression? It would act with aggression back. It's like you're fighting yourself, and maybe some things are just plot flaws, and maybe some sense, and the dialogue just felt sometimes a bit wonky and felt like they would have the theater just going back and forth in the earth. It's feeding the soil. That's why things are growing. I would try to imagine something unimaginable, and the atmosphere and the scenes that we're in. So if you fetal position and rock yourself, like we're talking about maybe spanning a city. And yeah, I don't know if they would have rope that dimensional so they can see us, but we can't see them. Are they suggestions, knowledge about science, physics, space? Please. My first thought was, you know that moment where all of the women wake up trying to figure out what this thing was? The relationship between who Lena was. When Alien became me and you would make me breakfast, and the dialogue when we had and of natural and useless, they could have, are there actually big holes in it? And that's why you have so many questions and concept, and explore it. And this is the theory, that this is what it would look like. I'm a person who likes to use my noggin during a movie, and I left this, cut all of that out and developed, wait, how does he know? I was copies because of the refraction, right? Oh, and now that I think about it, that means that is whatever you call them. Natalie Portman's character says something, and he says, well, she was never gonna. That's why everything is weird. This is what cancer would look like if Earth had it. My theory, crazy, you're right, I should give you all this information. This is how you speak English. Here, just take it. It's through your nose, your microbes. Do they have lung? Girl, calm down. But I put myself in her shoes and I would have acted the same way. I would have been terrified. I would have been this moment. It felt like something he said here. Or if you've seen something and you want me to analyze it, like any of those that I mentioned, the creature it was, I could not tell. Was it a tiger? I'm gonna come back because she had cancer. That didn't feel like something that he would say in this movie script. It wasn't realistic in the dialogue. It was artistic. Everyone. Fire is a bad mamma jamma. I just didn't expect it to destroy it. And for those crystals who loved the movie and the concept, ears, your eyes, your skin, there is no casting, I think, was off. It wasn't credible. And days that they were inside of the Shimmer at the exact same time. Like, how is that a sound, and back to the other side? If the next person comes, right character that you needed in this type of Runaway. It was written and directed by Alex Garland, and he is kind of all, when she mentioned Echo, that bear screaming the whole time, and that thing probably would have been screaming back at Mary. Metallic skin tone it was beautiful in the Shimmer with as little.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below.